We are exploring reactjs, and in this lecture we will specifically talk about the class-based components, the constructors of the component, and how can we initiate the properties of the component in the constructor, and we will see the function component as well. So this was the class-based component which we built in the last lecture. It is the simplest one, but we have looked deeper dive into this. That how can we create, what are the syntax, and what is the syntax, and a lot more. So I have built, and I have actually my React application is running on the localhost 3000 port. So that during the lecture we don't waste time and we can focus on the study and the concepts. So basically, let me show you. First, we will read it from the slides theoretically, and then we will see the practical example as well, so that you don't cram the code, but you have the logical concepts in your mind as well. So basically, class-based components, we have like a component constructor where we can constructor is nothing but just a special function which is called when the component is mounted, component is rendered. So component initiated from here. When the components starts rendering, the first method, which is the constructor, which is called, and we initiate and initialize all the properties, states, and the variables of the component in the constructor function. Okay, so there is a special object which is called the state. We will see it and explore it further in the coming lectures as well. And basically that is also initiated and in the constructor of a component. So basically constructor function is also where you honor the inheritance of the parent component. Okay, so you can call the super method as well, and you can like inherit the properties of the parent component, and right. So and furthermore, basically the super method is basically which execute the parent component constructor. So let's assume A is the A is the parent component and B is the child one. So when you call the super method inside the B's component B constructor, so the component constructor of the A component will also be called. Okay, and your component will get the access to all the function of the parent component React dot component, right? And then you have the car component. It's an example, so you can see the constructor over here. Let's assume this is our this is the same basically the component like this, but this is also having the constructor. So let's just define the constructor method over here. So you can see here over here that it has this syntax, and if you like call this, so it will get access to the parent properties as well. So you are basically extending the react.component class. You are basically inheriting the react.component class through extending it. So you will call the super method, and it will give you the access to the parent class as well, and the parent class is react.component in this case. And you can this method, you if you have used the Java, you know that there is a this keyword which refers to the which refers to the current object or the current event. So basically this, and there is a state object, and you put all the properties in this object. Okay, so you can define you can define like title equals to uh, constructor of components like this. Okay, and now you can use this state object over here like this. So you can have this div, and you can have closing div tag over here, and you can define the paragraph. And you whenever you are accessing the property in or the property of the state object, you have to put the curly braces because you are not writing the text just like this, but you are getting the value. So curly braces will get the value. So this dot state dot title property. So it will get the title property, and you can see here as well constructor of component. So if I'm writing like this, uh, state property, now you will see the plain text, and it is the value of the title in the state object, which is constructor of components. Let me just remove this, and you can see constructor. Okay, so this is how you can create the constructors. Furthermore, moving forward, so basically we can refer to the another component inside a component as well. So basically, just like you call the function inside another function, you can call the components inside another component as well. So let's call it components in components. So let me just create another component, so which is also the class based component, and let's just call it uh, app, or we can call it child app, which is basically extending the react.component class. And we have seen the constructor. Let's just call the render method over here and return the html through this, and let's just call this uh, h2, and this is child class component. Okay, so this is the child class component, and you can call the child app inside. You can call like this, and you can call like this as well, like proper html. Okay, Eh, but shortly you can write like this, the closing tag, right? Okay, so it will look, this is child class component which is written in the h2. So you are calling the component, this whole component inside another component, and and if you want to export this component and want to reuse inside another, like this is the benefit of the react components. So basically you create a component, right? You export it and you can reuse it another file or another component or another class, right? So moving forward, so you can write the components in files as well, where the file extension you can write JavaScript file, TSX or another. So we are focusing on the JS file. So the new file will be .js file extension. The name can be any, and you can reuse the components in a separate files as well. But once you are writing the code or you are writing the component, you have to export it in a file to so that you can reuse it in an other file. So like this you have to import the react, and you can, if you are using the class based component, so you have to import the react dom as well, so that you can use the render method. And in the new class you will import like this. So let me just show you the practical example. We are not here to cram the code. So basically let's write a component. So let me just show you. So this is the component. So let me just comment it out, and let's create it another component. So class, and let's just write car, or okay, just car extends react dot component. Okay, component, and we will use the render method. We will use the return method, and we will return it like this. We can return like simple h3 tag, and we can write I am a car, or I am a Ferrari car. Okay, excuse me for the spelling if it's wrong. Okay, so basically we have to export the this component, and we will reuse it like this. So import car from dot slash app is basically the name of the file. You can see app.js is the name of the file. You can write dot/app or dot/app.js, so no worries. Okay, now you have imported the component and you can use it over here. So you can see the output over here. I'm a Ferrari car. Okay, so we have learned that how can we create the class based component, how we return the multiple HTML tags, right? And how can we create the constructor, how can we create the state object, we will explore it further. Okay, and we have explained that we have explored that we can create a component, and inside a component we can call it as well, like this child app. And we have also explored that how can we create a component and we can export it and import in another file and we can reuse it. Okay, so and you can see I have just back it, and let me just do like this. So what it says that car is not defined. Okay, so we have exported it and we have to do like this. So we are back over here. Okay, so this is all from the class-based component, the constructor. How can we call the component inside another component to reuse it? And we have also explored that how can we create a component inside a file and we can export it and import it in another file to reuse it. That's all. Thank you very much.